That's what I get.
Yeah, I mean, he spelled out the whole game plan. I'm sorry. We all kind of made a pact not to tell BAJC that. So.
I'll read about it.
All right. Questions for defensive lineman senior Henri Santamore.
What was the mood like and the tempo like out there at practice today?
Pretty fast tempo, coming off the game, going against a up-tempo offense and, not playing well against them. It had a pretty fast tempo. The mood was, very stern, very focused. We're trying to get a focused practice in, focus up this week and, just make sure we hit all the gaps right, get everything, have less mental mistakes really, and, execute this Saturday.
What kind of stood out to you on film watching back y'all's performance?
I feel like we had a lot of effort, a lot of running to the ball, but I feel like we had a lack of execution on the plays, execution on what coach was telling us to do. I feel like they had the right game plan for it. It's just this lack of execution, and that comes with learning a new defense and getting into a new system. But every game we're going to get better, and that was yesterday. Today's a new day. So.
Running to the ball and being aggressive, does that sometimes get in the way of execution, staying in your lanes, that type of thing?
I feel like anticipation and trying to make plays can get in the way of that, but I feel like running into the ball and being aggressive doesn't really get in the way as long as it's directed in the right place.
What happened? What causes someone to get out of their lane? Is it just maybe wanting to give the quarterback more than staying in the gap, or what happens there?
I feel like I was saying, anticipation to make a play. Sometimes you get kind of angsty. Day out of the game, it's like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, and people try to do more than what you're supposed to do, And when you try to get more, you can get caught, you know what I mean? And so that's what kind of summed it up.
How do you control that angst then?
I feel like it comes with experience, knowing, like a lot of younger guys might get that angst and everything, and they try to do a little bit more and everything like that. But, with experience throughout the games, you can see how much that can hurt. And so just experience and discipline really is what controls it.
You talk about that angst, and then after a season like last year, and then it kind of starts to, you feel it start to happen in game where things kind of start to slip away a little bit. Mm-hmm. How tough is it to kind of stem the flow, like to stop it in the process as it's happening?
It's definitely tough to stop another team's momentum, but I feel like that's what separates good teams from great teams. And I feel like to be a great team, to be a championship contender, we have to be able to. Stop that, stop that flow, stop another team's momentum, kind of calm down and, get back to the basics of what we're supposed to do.
What are your memories of going up to Pittsburgh and playing some crazy games up there?
Yeah, 2 years ago we went up there and it was a pretty close game. I think it came down to a field goal. And, just that's how I remember it. We had the W really in our hands. It kind of slipped away. And so just really, like we were saying before, execution and just finishing a game off is what we're going to need to do to win this game on the road.
Do you feel like once you guys get that road win, close out a game, that it's going to make it easier the rest of the year?
Every team's a new team, and every game, ACC is a great division, and so every game is going to be hard. I'm never going to say something's going to be easy. Everybody got some great players and everything, but I definitely say that'll boost the morale of the players and it'll help us out, and just to get on that momentum train, get on that train and keep on going. Yeah.
Coach Johnson was saying yesterday that, like, sometimes, if the call was a slant left, two guys would go left and one guy would go right. Mm-hmm. Is that just sometimes that's going to happen when you're learning a new defense, or are there other issues that were going to happen?
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of the new defense, and it's just a little bit of, just getting the experience of the plays and, experience with the players and everything like that. And, big time games, sometimes it's loud, or if somebody's just not looking at the call. Sometimes just little stuff like that happens throughout the game and kind of messes up. But once again, coming back to the discipline part and the execution part, we have to be disciplined enough to get the call, even against the up-tempo offense, and, be able to execute the play.
I apologize for my ignorance here, but against an up-tempo offense like that, everyone's getting the call from the sideline. They're not circulating it within the.
We want to circulate it, but sometimes you look to the sideline and there it is. So, sometimes that happens. But as a team, we just got to be ready for that. As a defense, we got to be ready for that.
You personally, what did you take away from Saturday's loss that might have learned that you're going to use on Saturday?
I say finishing out the game. Really, I feel like we had the game up with about 4 or 5 minutes left, and as a defense, even like when we have fumbles or anything like that, as a defense, to be a great defense, I feel like we have to make big time stops, and that's what we failed to do last Saturday. And so I feel like that's going to be something that we stress this week. I I feel like that's something where everybody's thinking about on the defense is, you know, being able to make that stop when they need us the most. So that's what I learned from it.
What was Coach Johnson's message to you guys before you went into practice about just kind of setting up the week and things to
I feel like correcting mental mistakes was a big one. You know, we had a lot of misalignments, misassignments, and, you know, so as defense and as a team, we had a whole bunch. And so just correcting that up and, once again, going back to that execution, going back to that discipline is a big thing, is a big emphasis this week.
Is the misassignments and misalignments just because learning the new defense, or is it something else?
I mean, it can be a factor of both. It can be just learning the new defense, somebody not really understanding it, and, you know, it only takes one person to be off page to mess up, you know, the whole thing. And so I feel like we just have to be strong as a defense and as a team as a whole. You know, just be one swarm, one defense, and just get all that together.
Anything else for Henri?
Des, what did you take away from the game Saturday?
Just a lot of mental errors, a lot of mistakes made. I mean, it's not an excuse that it's the second game, but we just need to get right back into it. Like, it's just a lot. I saw a lot of mental mistakes. It wasn't lack of effort. It wasn't lack of skills. Just a lot of mental mistakes all around. Easy fixes that we just didn't correct during the game.
Coach Johnson said there was a lot of lane jumping and guys trying to maybe make some hero ball plays.
Well, again, that's just like mental mistakes. Like we practice all week on what we're supposed to do, and just we get out there, people are running out of gaps, people not doing their responsibility, not hitting who they're supposed to hit, and that's how big plays happen. Like anyone can score like that when you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Why do you think that's happening?
Oh, no, it's not why. It's just I just feel like it was just a collective. I'm not sure if it was an early game, but it was just collective all around, just a couple mental mistakes here and there. And you get a good team, they're going to exploit that. That's all around. This is Division I football. They're going to exploit your mistakes.
Do you feel like you guys underestimated their quarterback's role a little bit?
No. I don't think we definitely didn't underestimate it. That quarterback's played a lot of ball. We all respected him. We all knew he could run. We knew he could throw. It was just people going up the field, rush up the field a little bit too high, and him making the obvious run key for 10 yards. Like, he was good. That's no disrespect to him. He was a good player, but it's just we allowed that to happen for him to just get those yards.
Coach mentioned that maybe some of those mistakes may have been the result of maybe playing too many players on defense. Do you think if you cut down the rotation a little, that would help?
I'm not sure if it was just cut down rotation. I think it's more just everyone top to bottom just focusing up on the little details that we have to do throughout the week, because that's how you fix those little mistakes. Because we definitely played. We played hard. We played hard. It's just we didn't execute it from the mental aspect.
In terms of being a senior leader, and you've obviously seen you lost quite a few games this way last year where kind of blew some late leads. Kind of what do you say to the team this week? What's kind of the mood been?
I tell everyone it's a second week. Like, it's a second week. Yeah, that's a bad loss. That's a bad loss. But rather lose a non-conference game early in the year than a ACC game late in the year when we need it. So it's really just flush it, learn from mistakes, and it's a mistake if you mess up twice. If you only mess up once and you learn from it, we'll be good. Like, if we learn from what happened this last game, I feel quite confident that we're going to have a really good year from here on out. It's just, I'm glad this happened early. It sucks that it had to happen, but I'm glad it happened in a non-ACC game and it happened early so we can learn from it and move on. And now that we're focusing on Pitt, we're just really just flushing this last game. Like I said, learning and focusing on Pitt and trying to get this dub.
On that same theme, going on the road for the second straight week, I think that'll settle down some of the guys that were playing their first or second games of the year.
I also think like that game, like that was a very up-tempo game. Like, that was a very up-tempo game that a lot of young guys, like you said, some guys who just brand new, second game in, they're going against a really fast offense. That's mighty tough for an 18-year-old, 19-year-old first game. So I think that was a really good learning game for a lot of teams. I mean, for a lot of players on this team. And I think we're going to come back stronger than ever because we got good coaches who are going to coach us up what to do. And I think we're really going to come back stronger for this Pitt game because that was just such a mental, like, just dumb mistakes type game that if we learn from those mistakes, we'll be fine.
How critical would you say it is to take the loss and turn things around on Saturday as you do go on the road?
I mean, I mean, I just feel like that's football. Like if it's a win, you great, but you can't ride that high too much. You know why? Because you got a game the next week. If you lose, you can't get too low because you got a game next week, and that you're gonna let that affect you. So it's just, man, it sucks that we had to lose, but we can't change it now. So learn from it, flush it, move on. That's really what it is. I think that's a part of being a Division I football player. You gotta learn how to let it go, because if you let it affect you, that's how you get game slides, and that's where the senior leadership comes in, from me, Henri, to Quan, Brant, where we just gotta pick everybody up and say, hey, no, we're not letting this slide. We're elevating everybody else up.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of talk about how much simpler the defense was over the summer and into the fall. And yet right now you're kind of talking about some of the mental mistakes. How much is it still just kind of getting used to the new changes?
It's a new defense. It's also that's the first time we've gone against a no huddle team that spread the ball out like that, going quick. I think they snap the ball every 15 seconds, and it's just like we practically. We're definitely not making excuses here, but it's just we're still kind of getting along. We're still trying to learn as we go with this first year defense, and that's not saying that we're far behind. It's just we're learning as we go, and the more that we go, the more we're going to learn, the more we're going to get better. So I'm not worried at all. It's a tough loss, but we're definitely going to come back stronger.
You guys worked all off season to make sure what happened on Saturday didn't happen. So as a senior leader, how deflating is it on your first test of the season that it did happen?
I mean, it's definitely deflating, but I mean that's ball. I mean they're on scholarship too. They worked all off season too. So I mean that's part of football. You gotta turn the losses around. It's not about staying down. It's about getting back up. So it'll really be deflating if we let this slide 2-3 games. But it's really not. I wouldn't say it's deflating because we lost one game to South Florida, who's not an ACC team. Our goal is to be in Charlotte. They're not an ACC team. Our goal is to be in Charlotte against ACC teams, so we got to go undefeated against ACC teams. So we got to play our best against ACC teams like this upcoming game. So I want to say deflating is just, man, that kind of sucks, but we're just trying to get better from here on out.
Have you had a chance to watch Pitt yet?
We haven't. I watched a little bit of it, but I also remember playing them, and it's just, we know what they're gonna do. They're gonna load it up. They're gonna try to trick us. They're gonna do all their plays, and it's just really mental focus. And like that's why I said we got to learn from this last game, because Pitt's going to try to trick us, and we got to have a lot of eye discipline all around. So overall, it was just big. This is a big mental week because they're going to try to trick us, and we're coming off a loss. So that's why we need the seniors to step up and try to lift everybody up.
You're going against one of the best running backs in the league, so that talking about staying in your lanes and putting your eyes in the right place, that's really going to be important this coming week.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, like you said, one of the best running teams in the league. We gotta stay in our gaps. We gotta stay mentally focused. We gotta do our job and trust in the other person behind us, other person beside us to do their job. So someone's going to make the play.
Anything else?
No huddle game.
I think we did the best we could. I think the tempo affected us maybe a little bit, not conditioning-wise, just mentally, knowing you need to line up in certain spots, them getting up to the line quick. You have to read the formation and get a call at the same time. Sometimes that can be difficult. Maybe we're going to see a team like that again, so that helped. But in the long run, tempo does affect you. It affected me even, trying to get calls and different things like that. You just got to make sure you know your assignment and correct your mistakes.
When they give you that stacked look on the left side with the three receivers, you seem to be the only guy that kind of recognized that in the corner and got out there, and you were able to try it. You put yourself in position to make a play. Is that a situation where maybe someone's not noticing that they're supposed to fly over there too?
I think that's just a situation where it was close to their sideline. They can get lined up quick. We were all just trying to get a call since that tempo, especially when the ball's not going far downfield. They can line up a lot quicker to get lined back up. A lot of us are trying to, especially with seeing the coach, he's all the way back at the 25-yard in his box. It's the farthest sideline away. We're all trying to see over there. So you really can't, with three receivers to the farthest side, look all the way over there. So some people have to go a little more to the middle of the field. It just affects our vision a little bit. We'll get it corrected. We'll make that mistake again.
How close were you? It seemed like you were really close. close on a fourth down.
I was close. Probably should have made the play. Didn't. Move on. Next play.
How are the defenses that you learned at the defenses you learned at Wofford and what they're using here? Are they like identical or similar? How would you describe it?
They're similar in some ways. Things aren't called the same. Things are run different ways, but just minor adjustments here, minor adjustments there. But there's some big changes that I'm still having to learn, even myself. So just those little things, those little checks. And then also we're going into game weeks with most teams run different things. Some weeks we might face a team that runs maybe the same thing on the same plays and things like that. So maybe there's some overlap, but with there being different things every week, we are making checks and trying to adjust to those things. So just depends on the weeks and different things like that.
How difficult is it when Tariq got his targeting and you lose him and you're in a situation where Caleb hasn't played much, is playing I think 73 snaps or something on Saturday. That's got to be a tough situation where there's a rotation next to you and a guy playing really well gets kicked out.
Yeah.
How do you adjust to that?
Well, I mean, I think Caleb's played. He's probably played almost because I mean Reek played last year. They're both learning a new defense and they both played almost equal snaps last week. So I think even with Reek going out, they probably still were going to rotate all game. So I mean, it was an adjustment for Caleb knowing that he was going to have to maybe go with the rest of the game, not getting subbed in and out. So I think that was the only adjustment for Caleb, maybe just knowing that he was going to have to play that many snaps. I don't think there was a big adjustment knowing that he was going to play because the expectation is we all prepare like we're going to play. So I don't think that was – it's a big deal to lose Reek because he's a good player. But at the same time, we have to move past that and we have to go on, try to win a game.
Were you expecting them to throw underneath a lot going into that game?
Yeah, we were expecting that. More deep shots too. But it seemed like they had a specific game plan that they wanted to run, and that's what they did, and that's what they executed.
What do you I know you're new to this team, but what do you say to the kids that kind of try to reset the mindset for Pitt?
Let's go 1-0 this week. That's all that matters. We're just now starting ACC play. We haven't played an ACC game yet. So the main thing this week is just going 1-0. 1-0 in conference play, just getting that leg up right now.
Here's Tariq. What have you seen in him both in games and just in practice? But what kind of player he is? What kind of player he can be?
I think they all can be great players. I think Reek he's very tall. He's lengthy. He's athletic. I think he can be a great player in this league. Just like I think a lot of people on our roster can, especially in our safety position. I think we have some very athletic and talented people, and even KO, Christian, Jalen, Avery, Gentry, Wanye, they're all very talented. And the more that they're picking up these plays and the more that they're learning their role and what they specifically need to do on each play, on different things, and learning those checks and different things like that, I think they can be, all of them, great players, honestly. I think it's going to be a great secondary, especially with them being so young.
Coach Johnson, he was saying a lot of, when we were talking yesterday, he was saying, problems with missed assignments and gap control, things that maybe pertain more to the front seven, but on the backside, were there other problems with alignment or calls and things like that? Or?
I think, the tempo affected us just as well. I think the way we run our defense, sometimes the safeties are also in the box. So we have missed assignments just like our gaps. I know there's a couple of times I was supposed to be in my gap and I wasn't. That needs to be corrected, and I can't make those mistakes again. Just like in our secondary, we're going to have maybe some bust on different things with maybe not getting things communicated across the board. Just make sure those are very few mistakes that happen, and make sure that they do not happen repeatedly over and over again. Just make sure that they're a one-time thing. So I think that's going to be the main thing this week, is just making sure those mistakes get corrected, and at the very least maybe they happen once, but those don't happen again.
Are these things that are going to happen when you have a lot of young guys and a new defense? It's obviously everyone wants to play well and play perfectly, but obviously a guy who's a senior is going to be better than a freshman because he's played so many more snaps.
Yeah. I think it just comes with time. It's a young team, young defense, especially since they're all just in their second game of really game speed of playing this. I think the more games we get at this, the more we see different offenses and different things that they do. So we're going to see a team this week that's not going to go tempo a lot. They might do tempo every now and then, but a little more huddles, a little more time to think about what's happening, notice the formation, notice what's going on. I think that will help out a lot. And even if we get a tempo, it's in a tempo situation. I think last week even prepared us as this week. And just getting those game reps and different experiences, I think is helping us out the most.
Have you watched much Pitt film yet? Or just getting
Yeah.
into it?
Just getting into it. Not much yet, but definitely going to focus on that tonight and keep them going throughout the week. So.
Is it an advantage for them to be playing at home for the third straight weekend?
Maybe, but honestly, I just look at it as a game. Might not have our fans, might be in a different place, but at the end of the day, we're just playing football. Just getting on the field, just running around, playing a game that we all love since we've loved it since we've been kids. So that's the way I look at it. We're going out there to play a football game. Doesn't matter where we're playing it at, but we're just going out there and looking to win.
Thanks, Floyd.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Your evaluation of the linebacker play.
I think we played pretty well. For the most part, we were flying around and fitting our gaps pretty well. Obviously hurt losing David due to a controversial call, but anyway, yeah, and that's like I've said in the past. That's football though. The next guy's got to be ready to step up and come in and play and do just as well as the first guy. But overall, I think we had a great effort. I mean, but we just couldn't pull it off. So
Did it hurt not to have Bruce available in terms of his experience and playing in big games, that type of thing?
we want as much depth as we can get. Yeah, I mean, and Bruce is a heck of an athlete, and yeah, I mean, we would love to have him in there.
Can you talk a little bit, I guess, your evaluation of your own performance in there and kind of what you saw, what you kind of feel like you need to improve upon?
Personally, I think I'm waiting up too much. I'm hesitating a little bit with tracking running backs and stuff. I've just got to let it go and just have at it. A couple mental mistakes here and there, but for the most part, I mean, I think it was all right. Obviously, it's not where I want it to be, but there's always room for improvement. But you know what? There's always this week. So coming back this week and really just trying to focus on getting as much better as I can. So
you mentioned like being a step late or something. Is that a lack of certainty in what you're doing, and is that still kind of something that everybody's kind of getting more and more confident in their roles?
Well, sitting back in the air conditioner, you can say, I should have done this or I should have done that. But when you're in the game, it's a completely different perspective. And, yeah, I mean, it's always easy to see it from hindsight that I should have done this or that. But I don't know. I've just got to just let go and play harder. That's ultimately what it is.
You mentioned, and Henri mentioned, Coach Johnson mentioned, like mental mistakes. How do you fix that?
Well, I mean, if that, I wish I could tell you. I mean, we practice every single day, and, sometimes guys we lose focus. I mean, especially from a defensive standpoint, running against a tempo offense, that's what tempo's supposed to do. It's supposed to throw you off mentally. It's supposed to, confuse you with your communication, and I guess that's just what happened. Guys make mistakes out there, and you try to identify them from the previous week and really focus on them throughout the next week and see if you can correct it there. So I guess you just look at the little ones and little things, little details, and just try to correct them as best as you can and focus on making it better the next week.
You play a team this week that's known for trick plays, kind of trying to make you look left when the plays are right, those
Right.
kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
How do you address that too when you have just kind of basic mental mistakes too, and against more simple formations?
I think if this week we can keep our eyes where they need to be, I think we've got a pretty good plan set forward for it. But it's going to be about eye discipline and not worry about what's going on in the backfield, because ultimately we have one responsibility, and it might change with something. Some things might change with motions, some might not. So as long as we just as a linebacking core, as long as we just keep our eyes and focus where it needs to be, I think we'll be fine. Everything else will take care of itself.
You mentioned throughout a fall practice that you were liking the scheme change.
Mm-hmm.
2 games in, what do you think of it?
I mean, I still like it. I think it's lived up to what it's supposed to be. It's still aggressive. I think it fits my style of play. I like playing downhill, like being physical. So, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm disappointed in the defense, because I'm not. We've just got to correct a couple mistakes here and there, and and it'll all solve itself, I think. So
obviously you're only 2 games into a 12-game season, and
Yeah.
a new scheme and all that. But I'm curious, just from what you see and maybe from what you saw, when Coach Woody's showing you, here's what we did it at. Like how do you feel like there's a long way to go still before you're really playing as a unit where everyone's doing the right things and playing the ball?
I mean, we're our own team. We looked at a little bit of app, but I mean, I don't know. We've just got to. I mean, I think we're doing just fine with it. I mean, it's just we've got to. I don't know. We've got just work to do. I don't know.
I mean, I would think that just because it's new, I was talking with guys that when Coach Woody was at, I would say, the first year, and they were talking a lot of growing pains because everyone's doing it the first time. I think it's almost more natural that you're going to be making mistakes at first just because it's
yeah, but I mean, defense is defense. It overlaps. Cover 3 is cover 3, and cover 6 is cover 6. You just got to find that relation. You got to find the translation from last year to this year. And if you can't do it, I mean, you're just gonna. And we were 2 games in. We've had a whole camp and a whole spring practice to get it going. So, I mean, mistakes are mistakes, and there's no excuses for it really. So.
More for Brent.
Have you kind of talked to the team, your senior captain of the defense side? Kind of what's your role this week in terms of making sure that you don't get beat twice by USF?
Right. Well, I mean, that's the whole goal, is not focus on last week, and that affects us none. Yeah, we would like to win down there and got the win, and that would have been really good momentum going into our first conference game. But that's exactly what we're focused on ultimately, is the conference schedule, and really not worried about anything else. We're trying to get to Charlotte, and that's the mentality. So we're going to take it for what it is. Yeah, we went down there and lost. We should have won the game, but it is what it is. And so we're going to look at it and correct our mistakes and just run with it and use it as a lesson to work forward and just to get better.
You mentioned David before. I imagine he's probably bummed out he's not going to play for half against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what's your sense of where he is, and then also just as far as Bruce coming in to fill in for him?
Yeah, I mean, Bruce is going to have to step up this week. I mean, that's just how it is. If David can't play the first half, then the next guy up. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to have to really work on what we're trying to install this week and get it right and play just as well as David played it last week. So.
Do you have more of a comfort level with Quez or Bruce playing next year?
No, I mean, we're a whole group. We're down with each other. It's all good. I don't prefer anyone over the other. In my eyes, it's all the same. We all play hard, and we all get after it, and we're all going to make mistakes, and we're all going to do good things. So we're a group. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I prefer one over the other.
With the
Last one.
5th double-digit loss now in the past 2 seasons, how do you guys make sure this doesn't happen again?
I mean, that's what I've said the whole time, is just get better from last week. I mean, our last, 5 out of 6 away games we've lost. We've been up by double digits. Yeah. So, I mean, we've just got to learn how to finish ultimately. We get up, and we've just got to break that spell of what we've shown in the past. If we can do that, and I think we'll be fine.
Thanks, Brent.
All right.